I'm taking the killing school. Class start next week. You gotta at least have 2 bodies though. For I ain't coming with no. If you ain't got, I can't work with no beginners folks. You gotta at least have a 2. I'm gonna give y'all 2 minimum. I'm gonna start at 2 minimum, cause y'all know why I'm gonna start at 2 minimum. Now I'm just doing it for a tradition. And whatever I say, do it. If you do anything scary, I'm smoking.
You hear that? That wasn't a bar. That wasn't some tough guy flex for the algorithm. That was Bloodhound Lil Jeff, 21 years old, setting the entrance fee to his crew. 2 bodies, minimum. And he wasn't bluffing. 11 murders, that's what he claimed. He rapped about dropping 7 people in one song, posted emoji lists on Instagram that the streets decoded as a hit list, laughed on camera about gunning down 2 high school kids during their lunch break, 16 and 17 years old, backpacks still on. The wildest part? The internet ate it up. Millions of streams, thousands of comments hyping him up like he was some kind of folk hero. But here's the thing nobody saw coming. The man who turned murder into entertainment, who mocked dead teenagers like it was comedy, who made entire neighborhoods afraid to say his name out loud, took 19 bullets on a South Side porch and bled out before the sirens even got close. June 8th, 2024. The hunter became the hunted. This is the story of how a popular rapper, a kid from Chicago's East Side, built an empire on violence, flaunted every single body for clicks and clout, and paid the kind of price you can't negotiate. These are Lil Jeff's most savage moments, and the final one that ended it all. Before we go any further, remember, we aren't here to judge or take sides, just laying down the facts and evidence piece by piece. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, especially if you enjoy the video. This story goes places you won't expect, and trust me, you'll want to see how deep this rabbit hole goes. I will be in the comments to interact with you, so feel free to share your thoughts. Are you in Chicago? Do you know Lil Jeff? Have you witnessed such person in life? Or where are you watching from?
If a student graduates from this school, their future probably not looking too bright.
What? What you trying to say?
I'm saying there's only 2 places
So
they can end up
my future
in.
not looking bright.
I mean, I don't know if you
See what
graduate
I'm
from the school or
saying?
not. I don't know.
It's like, oh man, just look. Is my future looking bright or not?
But I'm just saying, if you graduate from
Oh
a
my
killer
God.
school,
He trying to say ain't looking bright.
no, you're a rapper, so your future looks very bright. But if a young man go to a killer school, you know,
Become a rapper and have a bright future. See, there you go.
Get some
Bingo.
money and be well.
Exactly. He could do it.
January 26th, 2024. Downtown Chicago, The Loop. Lunch hour at Innovations High School. Kids are scattered outside, laughing, scrolling through their phones, talking about weekend plans. Just another Friday. Monterio Williams, Monty to his friends, is 17. Robert Boston, 16. They're standing outside with their backpacks still on. Then a dark sedan rolls up. Slow. Deliberate. An Infiniti SUV pulls in right behind it. Windows come down. And in the next 15 seconds, everything changes. Gunfire erupts. Not 1 shot, not 2. A full barrage. Multiple shooters. Multiple angles. The kind of chaos that doesn't give you time to run or think or even understand what's happening. Monty hits the pavement first, gasping, clutching his chest. Robert drops next to him, backpack sliding off his shoulder. People are screaming. Some freeze, others scatter. By the time anyone processes what just happened, both vehicles are gone. Paramedics arrive, but it's too late. Both kids are pronounced dead at the scene. Fatal gunshot wounds to vital organs. High-caliber rounds. You'd think a double murder outside a high school in broad daylight would mean arrests, justice, something. Wrong. Weeks later, Lil Jeff drops a song called Ah. In the track, he describes a victim screaming as he gets hit. The way the voice cracks, the panic, the final breath. According to people who were there that day, the details match too closely. The song blows up. Millions of streams. But Jeff doesn't stop there. He gets 10 teardrops tattooed down his face. 2 of them are graduation caps for the kids. He posts it on Instagram like it's a badge of honor. Monty's mother shows up at a press conference begging for justice. She's begging for someone to care that her son was 17 and had a whole life ahead of him. Jeff's response? More posts, more music, more mockery.
So how did a kid got to a point of no regards for human life?
Under this CTA elevated platform near Wabash and Washington in the Loop, where police say 2 teen boys, a 16 and 17-year-old, both students at Innovations High School, were shot and killed, fear piercing through the busy midday.
We was supposed to get out of that for 12:50, and then they started shooting. They was like, can't nobody go in, can't nobody come out.
It happened shortly before 12:30 this afternoon. Police say 6 students were walking out of the school after classes were dismissed when a car and SUV, both dark in color, pulled up.
And a group of individuals exited said vehicles, fired multiple times, striking 2 of the teenage students of Innovations High School.
Jeffrey Lamar Harris, born July 14, Chicago's East Side. Picture rows of brick houses that have seen better decades, corner stores with bulletproof glass, steel mills that used to employ the whole neighborhood, now just rusting skeletons. It's the kind of place where survival depends on who you know and which block claims you. Jeff's father worked industrial jobs, long hours. His mom was a nurse's aide, working double shifts, doing everything she could to keep the family afloat. They weren't rolling in money, but they weren't starving either. Jeff had an older brother who got caught up in the streets before he straightened out, and younger sisters his parents tried to shield from it all. But Jeff? He slipped through the cracks. By his teenage years, the streets had already started whispering his name. Disorderly conduct charges, neighbors calling 911 after seeing him wave a gun around during arguments, juvenile detention for possession. Around that same time, he started posting on Instagram. Guns, stacks of cash, captions like "First strike wins." The teardrop tattoos started showing up. 1, then 2, then more. And then came the music. His first track, Bloody Family, wasn't some aspirational rap dream song. It was a threat. Raw, violent, unfiltered. But the spark that really set everything off, that came on March 16, 2023.
2 o'clock in the afternoon, a parking lot near 79th and Kimbark. Z-Money was sitting in his car, 22 years old, part of the Bloodhound crew, Jeff's cousin. More than that, Z-Money was the blueprint, the guy who showed Jeff the ropes, made him feel like he belonged to something bigger. Someone had stolen his watch a few weeks back. Not just any watch, the kind that costs what most people make in 6 months. In the streets, that's not about the money, it's about respect. Z-Money probably didn't even see the black sedan pull up. The passenger window drops, and then the air just explodes. 29 shots. By the time the shooting stops, Z-Money's car looks like it went through a war zone. He's still breathing when they pull him out, but barely. They rush him to the hospital. He doesn't make it. The funeral is packed. Bloodhounds in black, grief thick enough to choke on. And Jeff? He's standing there, staring at the casket like he's trying to burn the image into his memory. No arrests, no witnesses willing to talk. The no-snitch code does what it always does, protects the guilty and buries the truth. But Jeff doesn't need the police to tell him what happened. The streets talk, and once you hear the whispers, you can't unhear them. At some point during that funeral, something shifts in him. People close to him said it later, he wasn't the same after that day. The music changed. The energy changed. The look in his eyes changed. Z-Money's death wasn't just a loss, it was a declaration of war. And Jeff didn't just mourn, he started planning. 9 days after Z-Money's funeral, the first body drops. March 25th, 2023, 9 p.m., Little Italy. A 19-year-old named Leal is riding in the back of a lift. The driver's just doing his job, following the GPS. Then he hears gunfire. Close. Too close. 7 rounds from a micro Draco rip through the back seat. Leal doesn't even have time to react. The driver floors it, weaving through traffic. But by the time he pulls over, it's already over. Leal's rushed to Rush University Medical Center, pronounced dead on arrival. Police show up, collect shell casings. Witnesses describe a tall, skinny guy in all black. No arrests, but the streets know exactly who it was. Fast forward to November 1st, 2023, South Dorchester Avenue. Two friends, Donardo Buford and Desiree McGee, known as D-Money, are sitting in a parked car, just talking, laughing. A black SUV rolls up, doors open, and before either of them can process what's happening, gunmen step out and unload, point-blank range. Glass shatters, metal shreds. By the time the shooters jump back in and peel out, both are critical. They're rushed to the University of Chicago Medical Center, but neither one makes it. Shell casings everywhere, the kind of overkill that makes it clear this wasn't random, this was personal. And once again, no one talks, no witnesses, no arrests. But Jeff's Instagram starts shifting. Coded messages, cryptic emojis, posts that only make sense if you know what you're looking for. Each hit tightens his grip on the crew, builds his reputation, makes him untouchable in his own mind. But here's the thing about building an empire on violence. You're not the only one keeping score. March 2024, the track drops. FTO, Lil Jeff and Vert. Drill music has always walked a thin line between storytelling and confession. Some of that's exaggerated, some of it's metaphor, and some of it's so specific you start wondering if you're listening to a song or a police report set to a beat. FTO was the latter. Jeff doesn't just hint at bodies, he claims 7. He's detailed, methodical. He calls out Lil by name, mocks his death, talks about smoking him like it's a punchline. The song doesn't stop there. He talks about how his crew lit up entire blocks, how they shot so much on one street that rival trap houses had to shut down and leave. The track spreads fast, millions of streams, hundreds of thousands of people willingly pressing play on what might be a first-hand account of multiple murders. Think about that. We live in a world where someone can openly brag about killing 7 people, package it as entertainment, and get rewarded for it. Not arrested, rewarded. And Jeff sees those numbers climbing and knows exactly what he's doing. He's not just building a music career, he's building a mythos. But mythology has a funny way of collapsing under its own weight, because the more you talk, the more evidence you leave behind.
The music was one thing, but what Jeff did on Instagram, that's where things went from reckless to absolutely unhinged. May 13th, 2024, late evening, thousands of people get the notification. Lil Jeff is live. He's sitting there, relaxed, flipping through a stack of cash. His Rolex catches the light every time he moves his wrist. The comments are flying. And then he just says it. 10 bodies. That's his count. He doesn't whisper it, doesn't code it, just puts it out there like he's updating his gym stats. Next to him, Q50 cosigns with his own number, 8. This wasn't entertainment anymore. This was a confession broadcast to thousands of people in real time.
You know, Q50's still out here. He got arrested for a little period of time, but he got let back out, and he's just out here, you know, navigating the streets with supposedly with 8 bodies. I don't know how he's not in jail. It's actually kind of baffling, this whole situation. I think if Jeff was here, he would definitely be in jail, facing really serious charges for a number of bodies that he'd allegedly committed and claimed. Those guys made it really obvious for everyone, you know.
Go back a few months, February 2024. He posts a photo, fresh ink, 10 teardrops tattooed down his face. 2 of them are graduation caps for Monty and Rob. He captions it with 10 emojis, carefully placed. People immediately start decoding it, matching each emoji to a victim. Then there's April, another post with 10 more emojis. One of them stands out, a woman's hat. The streets decode it instantly. D-Money. A slick, coded way of saying, yeah, that was me. And if that wasn't enough, he posts 2 expensive watches on his wrist, stolen from a rival. Below that, his hands, covered in blood. Not fake blood, blood. You're probably wondering, how does someone get this bold and still walk free? Well, someone did step in, just not the people you'd expect. May 2024. DJU sits down with Jeff and Q50 for an interview. Thousands are watching live. At first, it's standard fare. music, street life. But then the energy shifts. Mid-conversation, Jeff reaches into his pocket, pulls out a crushed-up Percocet, and right there, on camera, he snorts it. The room goes quiet for half a second. Jeff leans back, laughs, starts comparing himself to Tony Montana. As the interview continues, his words start slurring. He's mumbling about bodies, laughing like it's all some kind of joke. This wasn't just reckless. This was someone spiraling, someone who'd gone so far past the line that he couldn't even see it anymore. The clip goes viral within hours. Jeff had crossed into territory where the consequences didn't seem real to him anymore, where everything was content, everything was a flex, even murder. February 2024, just weeks after Monty and Rob were killed. Their families are still mourning, and Jeff posts a picture. He's sitting back, casual, holding 2 blunts, smoke curling around his face. The caption is vague, but the timing, the imagery, anyone paying attention knew exactly what he was saying. 2 blunts, 2 bodies, 2 kids who'll never graduate. The families speak out, publicly, painfully, begging for justice, for accountability. Community leaders call it proof that drill culture has gone too far. But Jeff keeps posting, keeps flexing, keeps acting like none of it matters. No remorse, no hesitation, no humanity. But karma doesn't forget, and for Jeff, the bill was about to come due.
Legions of kids on Reddit who are really like worshiping Lil Jeff for the amount of murders that he was apparently able to.
Jeffology? Yeah, there's a Jeffology.
They have a Jeffology
subreddit.
They're calling him J-Roy, which I was very into that. Like, one of the most damning things is like this series of emojis that he would put in his captions, in which each different emoji seemed to reference a different person. So like a lot of people have seen this like really traumatic video of basically these 2 high school age kids. They got killed in Chicago. It's been alleged that Lil Jeff was the one who took them out.
June 8th, 2024. The day everything caught up with him.
Just after 5 in the evening. Jeff is moving through enemy territory with 2 Bloodhound associates. They're looking for a Trap City rival. According to witnesses, they spot him coming out of a house. Most people would think twice. This isn't their neighborhood. The smart move is to wait. But Jeff doesn't do smart. He does bold. And bold means chasing a target straight into a house he's never been in before. The rival runs. Jeff follows. And the moment he steps through that doorway, everything changes. The house wasn't a hiding spot. It was a trap. Gunfire erupts from multiple angles. They'd been waiting. 19 bullets tear into Jeff's body before he has a chance to get a shot off. Chest, torso, arms. His crew tries to return fire. 58 shell casings end up scattered across the scene. But Jeff is already done. They drag him as far as the porch, try to load him into a car, but by the time the sirens get close, they panic, dump him on the curb, and peel off. Paramedics airlift him to the University of Chicago Medical Center, but it's a formality. 5:46 p.m., pronounced dead. 19 gunshot wounds to the chest and torso. The man who bragged about 11 bodies, who turned violence into viral content, ended exactly the way you'd expect. Within hours, footage of his final moments starts circulating online. Reddit threads light up. The hunter became the hunted. And just like that, the empire built on bloodshed collapses in the same streets that created it. So what happens next? Does justice finally show up? Sort of, but not in the way you'd hope. Chicago PD's Gang Intelligence Unit had been watching Jeff for months, building a file, cross-referencing his posts with unsolved murders.
You can see on the video somebody outside like talking to their girlfriend or, talking to a person who they just interacted with. And you see him run down and chase the guy in the house. And then you see him flying back off the porch. And then you hear do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
and the paperwork can say he was hit 19 times in the chest area.
He was shot 19
times. And that's how I think they grabbed Rob for the murder, because it's overkill. It ain't self-defense 19 times. Clearly see on camera that 4 dudes is waiting outside basically to ambush them. Like, I don't think he should be in jail, but in Chicago, they lock up the wrong people. They let out the wrong people, you know, and it's just crazy, man. But Rob, he's still up in there. He's still up in there.
4 months after Jeff's death, there's an arrest. October 30th, 2024. Robert Coleman, 32 years old. Eyewitnesses place him at the house. Police recover a ghost gun. He's charged with first-degree murder. Finally, right? Not quite. The charges get dropped. Lack of evidence. Ballistics don't match. Witnesses start changing their stories. Instead, Coleman gets remanded on a different charge, armed habitual criminal. He's sitting in Cook County Jail waiting for trial, but the murder charge, gone. And Jeff's other victims, the high school kids, Leal, still cold cases. No arrests, no charges. Meanwhile, Jeff's music is still out there, streaming, getting played. Posthumous tracks like Steppin' in Blood drop after his death. No one shut it down. Q50 got picked up on unrelated warrants. The task force is looking at him as a possible accessory, but nothing's stuck yet. Justice isn't blind. It's just stuck in place, spinning its wheels, while the streets move on to the next name. Let's talk about the real cost here. Monty's mother still shows up at city council meetings, still advocates for stricter consequences for drill rappers who glorify violence. You can hear the exhaustion in her voice. Lil Rob's family started a foundation, trying to keep other kids out of the streets, offering mentorship programs, anything to give young people an alternative. But the damage is already done. Gun violence in the area spiked 15% in the months following Jeff's murders. PTSD screenings at youth centers went up 20%. Kids dealing with trauma they shouldn't have to carry. Innocent people got caught in crossfires. Families moved out of neighborhoods they'd lived in for generations. The drill scene is at a crossroads. Artists like Lil Durk and G Herbo have spoken out, mourning the talent while calling out the toll. There's been some movement. The city allocated $2 million for music mentorship programs. But here's the hard truth. Reforms only work if people buy in. And when you've got a generation watching people like Jeff turn violence into virality, into money, into fame, the message they're getting is that this works. Until that changes, we're just going to keep seeing the same cycle. Different names, same ending.
Here's where things get interesting. Robert Coleman's trial is set for March 2026. Prosecutors are hinting at fresh witness testimony. People who were too scared to talk before, some of them are flipping now. If those witnesses come forward, the murder charges could come back, and not just for Coleman. Q50's case is moving forward. His trial could expose what went down inside the Bloodhound crew, names, operations, the whole infrastructure. And here's the kicker. Leaked forensic evidence reportedly links shell casings from South Rhodes Avenue to the unsolved high school murders. If that holds up in court, it could finally give Monty and Rob's families closure. So the question isn't just about Jeff anymore. It's about whether the system that let him operate for so long is finally going to hold someone accountable, whether the no-snitch code cracks under the weight of too many bodies, whether justice catches up, or whether the streets just move on to the next name. Will the code finally break, or will the next verse claim another chorus of the damned? If this story made you think twice about what we glorify, what we stream, what we allow to happen in plain sight, share this video, leave a comment about what you took away from this, and subscribe, because stories like this need to be told before another kid thinks this path leads anywhere but a grave or a cell. Until next time, remember that when you turn violence into entertainment, you're not building a legacy, you're writing your own eulogy. The streets don't forget, and neither does karma. Stay safe, stay aware, and thank you for joining us today. See you on another story from the Hidden Crime Network. Bye for now.